think you're muted, bro. I can't hear you. Maybe it's just me. Can y'all hear us? Sorry, he gone. Let me get this show started. Hopefully you can hear me. I don't know if you can or not. Let me know with the thumbs up if you can hear me. But a little Mateer thumbs up here. But it's OU Texas week, Sunday night, start of the week. Okay, thanks, Dowpost. Appreciate it. Start of the week, and OU opens up today, 3.5-point underdogs to Texas. Texas no longer in the top 25, gone out of the top 25. OU ranked number 6, but OU 3.5-point underdog. So I think we have Jeremy back. Are you there?
Are we good?
I can hear you now.
Let's go, baby. It's OU Texas week, and we got issues going on.
Technical issues, man. What's going on with that, Jeremy?
Don't know, don't care, but let's go. It's Texas week, baby. OU is an underdog, and Jay gone. He gone, boys. He can't take it. Yeah. Look, 3.5. There he is again. 3.5-point favorite Texas is unranked.
Yep.
I was shocked when I saw that Texas and Penn State unranked, Jay. They were ranked top 2 in the country. Preseason rankings are an absolute joke. And Dave, I'm with you. The best news that could ever happen happened when OU came out as the underdogs. That's huge. Okay,
don't you think there's only one reason they're an underdog? Mateer is the Mateer uncertainty.
Correct, but
let me ask you this: if Mateer was playing and they said he's playing, OU would be favored, right?
I think they'd be about a 2 or 3 point favorite.
I think more of like a 1 or 2. I think this game to me, I thought when it came out today would be more like a push. Like,
hey guys,
push for 1 point, but 3.5's a lot.
Adam is spot on. You're spot on, Adam. Not only can OU win the Red River rivalry and go to 6-0. Not only can they beat a Texas team in Arch Manning, who has 2 losses right now. Essentially, they would knock them out of the playoff. They'd be out of the playoff at this point.
Very, very interesting question. I don't know the answer to this.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
But listen to this. When was the last time a number 6 ranked team was an underdog on a neutral field to an unranked team?
Yeah.
OU's number 6. They're underdogs.
And you're right, 918 hasn't lost back-to-back games. Look, what is happening at Texas when they've been in the playoff 2 straight years, had a good chance to really be national championship contenders, and now they're unranked. And he hasn't lost 2 in a row. But, hey, I agree. Go with what Mez said. Mez sat here, and we argued with him, Jay.
I remember.
I
was high on Texas. I picked Texas to make the playoff, Jeremy.
Jay, if I'm a Texas fan, I don't think Manning's the biggest concern. I don't know how their offensive line is going to protect him.
Well, they didn't look like they could protect him against Florida. I'll tell you that. They had some issues for sure. A couple of them really struggled. A couple of them, I think their PFF grades, a couple of them were in the 30s or below. So their O-line's not good. It hasn't been good. And I agree with Ron. Our O-line, I think that's going to be a problem too with their D-line, Jeremy. I just think that would be a problem for OU that they got to clean up, because I think D-line at Texas is good, and OU's O-line hasn't been that good in my opinion, Jeremy.
They haven't, Jane. Look, I don't even know if I want to play hypotheticals, because I really do think
I don't like hypotheticals.
I think John Mateer is playing. I mean, I saw the video of him pulling his shoulder pads like this. He had both hands there. I just think he's going to play. If he doesn't, I look for Arbuckle, Jay, to not have Michael Hawkins in the pocket much. I think they're going to run Hawkins if he plays, and they're going to bootleg him a lot. I really foresee them doing that, Jay, if he plays. But I think John Mateer is playing.
We'll find out. Do you really think we're going to know an answer to that until Saturday?
No. And have you seen anything on this? Wisner.
I have not heard any of that.
I don't follow any Texas chatter. I'll just be honest with you.
Well, I think their concern shouldn't be who's running the ball. It should be who's blocking for the running backs, because I don't care who your running back is back there if you can't block him. We've talked about that with OU for years. But Jerem, let's talk about this. OU has to release an injury report this week.
Correct. Availability.
Yes, the first one that comes out, Mateer doubtful or questionable or out.
The first one that comes out, I think he's going to be
doubtful.
Now, they could do a little gamesmanship and say out, and then later in the week say doubtful, and then he could still play. It'll be interesting, the gamesmanship, Jay.
Yeah, that's why I brought it up. It's intriguing with the injury report. I could see doubtful the first one and then maybe questionable on Friday, like OU Rhino says. But I can already tell you, Jerem, on Tuesday or Wednesday when they put it out, if it says out, the OU fans will lose their minds.
No, they won't. I think a lot of OU fans expect him to be out this game.
No, I think a lot of people are thinking he's going to play. And
when I said he was going to play 2 weeks ago, people ripped me, Jay.
Okay, maybe you're right. Maybe people don't think he's going to play. But I don't know.
Return. I think it's not. No, it's not just for gambling. I think it's also for ethical things with your opponent. Would you agree with that, Jay?
I just think it's an SEC deal. I mean, I think
it's a requirement from the SEC.
It's a conference deal. I'm sorry about that, Lou. I don't know how to fix that. I'm not sure.
Now, corrections only use the injury reports as toilet paper at this point.
Too much information, corrections.
TMI,
Jeez.
Man.
TMI.
That's that John Wayne toilet paper.
Jeez.
Rough as and doesn't take crap off anyone, man. That's that John Wayne stuff.
Now, that's too much information, corrections. I don't
now,
even know that.
This brings up, and yes, Derek Simmons will start again. Absolutely will. He had a bad game, but he's also played some good games. Blake from Utah says, can he play with his thumb tape? Jay, we actually had this conversation earlier. We had this exact conversation. Will he wear a glove? Will they tape it? The biggest question mark's going to be if John Mateer is at a point where he can't do any damage to it, then he's playing. Like, if he can't, to me, it's either healed or it's not. And I'm going to say here's the test I think OU does on Thursday, Friday. Jay, you ready for it? I don't have one here with me, but
the tree.
No, they may have him grip a bottle, they're going to do a grip test. They're going to have, if he can take a snap and throw the ball, he's playing. Period.
Possibly. Yeah, Baker.
Not possibly. If he can take a snap, throw a ball, grab a bottle, all those things, and grip. The issue is the grip, Jay.
Hey, Baker is lighting it up. I saw people comment on it, but OU fan 75 has answered one of the questions earlier. This is cool. It says, very rare, but number 10 Michigan was an underdog to unranked Washington last year. But I would guess that game was at Washington.
Yeah, this is neutral site.
This is a neutral site game. This isn't at Texas. This is a neutral site. OU could have it's going to be split down the middle. Now, Texas is a home team, right? They get the recruits this year. I
believe that's right, Jay.
Yeah, I believe Texas is home team.
Corrections, he did, and he probably had a shot at half, which helped with that. Maybe they'll shoot him up before the game. I don't know. But that's going to be the talk all week. But there's other things to talk about, Jay.
Wait, he had surgery 2 weeks ago tomorrow or Wednesday? 2 weeks ago Wednesday, I think.
Correct.
So this will be 2 weeks on Wednesday.
2 weeks and 3 days. Now, Greg says he was throwing deep balls in the game. I didn't see any reports of that, Jay.
I didn't see him throwing it all in the pregame. I don't think he threw it all, did he?
I didn't think he threw in the pregame.
No, I didn't think he threw anything.
I think Coconut Greg's just starting stuff right there. Come on, Greg.
Maybe Greg saw him and somewhere else and he was throwing it.
Hey, Jay, there's a lot to talk about in this game. But Texas, speaking of injuries, Texas is pretty banged up.
Yeah. And we'll see what happens when they put their injury report out and see how they are. But how about today? You had the Mike Houck tweet. Thought it was a great tweet.
Mike
Houck brings up and he says, quote, it was a quote from Brent Venables in the offseason. Why am I going to call the defense? Quote, because I'm good at it. I'm really good at it. And then he followed that up and he dropped the stats of OU's defense, which they are number one in freaking about every stat there is. I mean, they are their numbers right now defensively are unbelievable. And I know they haven't played the greatest offenses in the world, but until they do, what can you say? You can only do what's there. Hey, there's been games before against nobodies in years past, and they weren't ranked number one. They weren't even close to it. They were in the 50s or whatever. So I'll take it any day of the week, and they are number one. The stat, Jeremy, we did a video we're going to put out tomorrow. The stat that just blew my mind. It blew my mind. Tackles for loss per game. OU has 10 tackles per loss per game. Not 10, 10 per game tackles for loss. That's a ridiculous stat. And that's all because of front four, man. The front four.
They haven't had to pressure a lot.
Yeah.
Look, Sark's going to be over there confused as heck if OU's just able to get to him with 4 guys. Do you think the brace was for show? No, I don't. I think that that's protocol with someone who's just had surgery, but I think it's also gamesmanship. Sark said Arch has a stinger to his shoulder, and he was limping a little bit.
Have you heard anything on Lewis at all today? I didn't listen to any podcasts.
It's kind of what they said yesterday, Jay, that he was up and around moving, and there's no fracture. So,
is that what Dave and Teddy did?
I guess. And Sooner fan says Ott is Jag, Gabe Eichert.
I haven't listened to the podcast.
Hey, do you really think Gabe Eichert said that?
I don't know, Jerm. I didn't listen to it.
I'm going to have to go back and watch that.
Are you saying you don't believe Sooner fan?
I didn't say that, but
what?
Gabe Eichert doesn't usually come out and say things like that, Jay. And Jay, I actually think Ott looked better than anyone they got there in the open space.
Ricky says
now, there's not much open space.
Simulation game. What the heck's a simulation game? We talking about video game?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. I see.
Hey, Germ.
Again, like I said, I knew he didn't say it, Jay. It's ridiculous.
Hey, while we're at it, why don't we? You got your dogs in the house?
Yeah, they're in the other room. Yeah.
Can you go get them for a second for me?
Definitely not.
Well, I was hoping maybe you could go get them, Germ. Get those dogs. Maybe they could go to who they think's going to win the game.
I would never do that.
Well, that's about like the simulation stuff. Who cares what a simulation says?
Hey, he's talking about the chat. Is the chat deaf? Is the chat deaf? I'll have to go watch it. I mean, not many guys look great running the ball, Jay, yesterday. They all looked kind of average because there was nowhere to run.
Yeah, it wasn't very good. The offense wasn't very good yesterday. We've already hashed this out, man. No need to talk about it. I'm moved on to Texas. OU needs to go in the Cotton Bowl on Saturday and win the game. Point blank. They need to go
Jay. And Jay, this is, I mean, you go back in the Sooner Longhorn lore. You go back in the corridors of the Red River rivalry, and there are a lot of guys on both teams who have made a name for themselves in this particular game. And there's some guys on OU that I'm thinking about could make a name for themselves in this game. Guys who, a David Stone who's already come on this year, but they're guys that can make a name for themselves and do something that maybe you wouldn't expect them to do. And guys have done it in the past and been Sooner legends because of this one game.
Well, that tends to happen in this game quite a bit. I think that happens quite a bit.
Yeah, Tate Sandell, Grayson Miller might be very big. OU leads the nation in punts allowed, too. I mean, you look at that chart that was posted, Jay,
yeah.
One.
Yeah, they were one a lot.
One. The lowest ranked on any of those were 6, and it was pass completion percentage.
Yeah, and a lot of people have said that pass per attempt that they've allowed some stuff this year, they're still ranked number 1 or 2.
They're one. You can't turn the ball over in this game. You can't get behind the chains. You got to keep it, 2nd and 6s, 3rd and 3s, pick up your 3rd down plays. Now, I will say this. Where losing material hurts, where it's even amped up or illustrated or highlighted even more, is on 3rd down plays. Because he's a guy who just makes plays on 3rd and 3s or 3rd and 4s. And personally, Hawkins hasn't shown he can do that. So that comes with experience, with playing a lot of ball. That's a concern if Hawkins is playing, is those third down conversion percentages.
Yeah. Billy says, wish me luck on Saturday. Friend got tickets to the game, but the seats are on the Texas side.
Oh, wow.
That'll be a great day, Billy, if OU wins. If OU loses, that'll be the most miserable day of your life.
Hey, Kyle.
Who's mad?
Who's mad?
I'm in a
Jay,
great.
are you mad?
I don't think I've even hardly raised my voice, have I?
I don't know. I always speak loudly, so I don't know if he's
maybe he's talking about the chat. Maybe he's talking
about the chat, Jay.
Yeah. Hey, one thing I gotta say, when I mentioned earlier, I said OU needs to absolutely go beat Texas on Saturday.
Yeah, I mean, they're there for the taking, Jay.
They're for the taking. You can eliminate him from playoff, maybe. And if you lose, Brent Venables will be 1-3 against him. That doesn't fly very well at Oklahoma.
That doesn't fly well at OU, Jay.
So you need to go out there and win the game. And I saw Chuck say, don't think we can win without Mateer. Chuck, I was talking to somebody today about this. They can win without Mateer, but I'm not just overly confident if it's Mateer's not playing, because I think in a game like this, so many times, Jerm, fourth quarter experience matters. And I know. Listen, John Mateer has never played in a OU Texas game. I get it, but he's played in a lot of games in his college career. Hawkins has only played in what? 7? I mean, just not that many. He played in Red River Rivalry last year, Red River Shootout, whatever the heck you want to call it. You know, they only scored 3 points. He didn't play that great.
Hey,
I mean, last year offense is totally different, but I'm just saying, I think you need that experience, because Mateer proved it in the fourth quarter of Auburn and the fourth quarter of Michigan when they needed plays with the broken thumb, whatever heck he had dangling off, knee hurting, he was dropping seeds in there, man.
Yeah, and Daniel, who's a former player and's been around the program, says that 34-3 is being used all during practice and workouts. And Jay, you saw on the field after the game. This, and what Dalpo has said, it's a statement game. I think it was Dalpo that said it, or who is Gunter said it maybe. It is a statement game. And I think OU has been circling this date, knowing that this is a statement game. And you know, there's some things, Jay, I want to talk about. One, I like what Dalpo says, that if Hawkins is in the straight open field, he's got some speed, but he's not very shifty. Mateer is very shifty. But Jay, here's something to think about. If Hawkins does play and OU were to lose and Mateer comes back, and let's say OU loses 2 games, let's just say they lose to Tennessee and Bama, they beat South Carolina on the road, beat Ole Miss, beat LSU. I think a lot of the people in the committee are going to say, well, OU only had 2 losses really with Mateer.
Well, they will take the injury into consideration.
I think they'll take into consideration.
I don't really care about it. I want to beat Texas.
I absolutely want to beat Texas.
Chuck says, that's just my opinion. Jay, you had them losing with Mateer, didn't you? I did. But, hey, listen, before the season, I was high on Texas, guys.
I picked Texas to win.
I have kept waiting for Texas to say, okay, the real Texas is going to show up. And then last week they laid that. Guys, they played 2 good defenses. They haven't shown up against those teams. So OU's an elite, really good defense. Do you think Texas is going to all of a sudden this week, serious question? Do you think Texas against OU's defense is going to go out there and be able to put 20 points up?
With turnovers, yes.
I'm just saying without turnovers.
The most they're going to get is 3 touchdowns, I think. So 21.
I don't think they can score 20.
No, I said the most.
Yeah, I just think
Ryan Wingo could make some big plays, but I just don't see it happening.
Yeah. And this game, guys, I was talking to somebody about this today. This game is a weird game. It always is. Anybody that thinks, OU may go in there and beat them by 10 or 15. But you can't just say that's automatically going to happen.
Hey, and the magic number for me, someone asked magic number, 24 is the magic number for the year for me. OU scores 24, I think they're going to win most games.
Who's been the better team in Alabama? Who's been the better team over the last 5 years? Georgia. They can't beat Alabama still.
It's a mental thing, yeah. Hey, Daniel, this is great stuff here. Daniel said his boys told him Stone and Jaden Jackson leaving the locker room that starting Monday, nobody's playing games, and he was smiling when he said it.
Well, Stone hasn't been playing games for a while. That dude, how about the first play of the game the other day? 2 guys bull rush him, grabs the guy's jersey, and pulls him down the ground. I mean, that was insane.
Oh, yeah.
The guy is feasting, man.
Matt Rhodes is picking OU. What's happening, man? Matt Rhodes has OU 27-16. Greg God says Cortland can't get picked on this game, and I agree. There's been one weakness for Cortland Guillory.
Soft coverage.
No.
Oh, I thought you meant in last week's game. He kind of played off him.
That the weakness for Guillory is turning around and making the plays. Like his coverage has been there at times. He gets physical and he gets called for interference. The question's going to be, is OU going to do what they did at Auburn a lot, which is man up on the outside some? And to me, that's the only way Manning's going to get anything going and get in a rhythm, is if he's able to complete some deep balls on one-on-one coverage. But I'll say this about Guillory. He's not going to get picked on long, because if he does get picked on, Eli Bowen is getting in and he's getting subbed out. Facts.
Hey, SGA for MVP. That's awesome. Glad you're getting to go again. That's great. Hey, Germ, the thing is, to get picked on, though, unless you're throwing go routes and just throwing it up, you're going to have time to throw it. And
not on those routes, you don't.
Like, I know, but I'm just saying, like,
if I'm OU, I'm forcing Arch Manning to get his head on a swivel and make a couple reads. He hasn't shown he can do it very well, especially if there's not much time. He gets happy feet. He starts slinging it around. He's missed some guys.
Hey, the key to this game, Germ, I say this a lot, but the way you start this game, if you get a couple sacks early and Arch starts out cold, like Quinn has done in the last few nights. Let's not forget, Quinn has started off cold against Oklahoma. They've intercepted him early. They've gotten turnovers from him. But Quinn was an experienced guy, and he was able to rebound a little bit in those games. If you remember right, he kind of got it going in a couple of those games. But Arch is a different story. And I think you get him thinking early, it could be a long day for them up front, because just their O-line, Jeremy, their O-line is just honestly, it hasn't been very good.
Troy says, first time, Dolby, I agree, Troy. Dolby did look decent. And Kanik, Chris Logan thinks Kanik is the key to the game. Jay, I've watched some NFL today. I would love to see OU under center with a little bit of play action and something. I love the tight end screen to Kanik this week. Greg Gott's filling an RMT heater, and I'm filling open the phone lines right now, ladies and gentlemen. Check out the Fan Stop, thefanstop.com/OU. You can order that hat that Jay's wearing right now. It's an upside-down Longhorn hat, okay? You can order that on there. You can use code SURGE, get 10% off your first 3 months. Sign up for the Shirt of the Month Club, Sooner fans, okay? Sign up. Phone lines are open. Give us a call. Give us a quick hot take. Let's do quick calls tonight, man. Give us a hot take. Give us some Texas hate right now. Give us some Texas hate. Keep it clean.
Sure. A lot of people. I'm having great reviews and everything about your song last night. A lot of people loved it.
Jay, I saw you posted that thing on TikTok. You got like 130 shares on that thing. I didn't know my voice, man.
It's not.
I have to find a studio.
Jeremy, I think it was the bars. It wasn't the voice. It was the lyrics.
I had to find myself a studio, man.
You don't have one tonight, do you?
I mean, I tried to put something together to All My Exes Live in Texas.
And?
I'm not really feeling it.
Do you have it prepared for tonight?
It's hard to follow something up after last night, because that was.
Do you have it? Do you have it prepared though, in case?
I've written some lyrics to All My Exes Live in Texas. Yes.
Okay. Just wondering.
It's hard to do without music. We got Dwayne Ogletree on here right now. First caller of the night. Break it to us. Let's go, Dwayne.
Hello.
Hey, what's up?
Hey. I remember last year's game against Texas. Mm-hmm. OU had a good defense. Texas still ran the ball on them. They was pushing OU around last year. I think
it's different though.
Yeah, I think both teams I think OU has peaked. I think Texas got the athletes and the talent, because remember, Texas defense is in the top 3 till they played Florida.
And they got
Florida exposed them, right?
Yes.
Oh, you hadn't played a team with the athletes
Texas
that
offense
Texas
isn't
had.
any good.
Yeah, we will see. I think OU is going. I think
Dwayne, who has Texas' offense played good against?
I ain't said nothing about the offense. I said they got better athletes, better talent. They got 2 5-stars on the offensive line. How many 5-stars that OU have? They have 1.
I don't care. Hey, Dwayne, their offensive line isn't playing good.
Yeah, but neither is OU.
I agree with you. I agree.
All I'm saying is they're gonna be exposed, and I'm looking for OU to finish with 4 or 5 losses, and Texas still might make the playoffs.
Based on what? What are you basing that on?
Based on, I think OU's defense is not legit. Just like Texas defense is not legit.
What are you talking about?
Yeah. Dude, Texas defense was up there in the stats just like OU. They were right next to each other.
Was past tense. They're not anymore.
And one game against a team with super athletes like Florida exposed them.
Florida couldn't score all year.
And that one game against Texas with the better athletes exposed them.
But okay, I understand. Listen, I see what you're saying, but I want to know what you see from your eyes to tell you that you think OU's D line is going to get whipped by Texas's O line.
Texas is going to force turnovers with their defense and set their offense up with easy scores, because that's what Texas has been doing the last 2 years with that defensive coordinator. And I think that's going to be the difference. They're going to force OU to commit turnovers, and they're going to put their offense in good position to get scores enough to win the game.
Do you feel the same way if Mateer plays?
Yeah, because Mateer has not hit big plays. He squeaked by 2 teams with average offenses.
Hey, Dwayne,
he ain't hit no big pass plays. He didn't hit no big pass plays against Michigan. He didn't hit no big pass plays against Auburn.
Satani down the sideline on the last drive of the game where he went 16 of 17.
He didn't throw no bombs. They were short passes that the guys ran after the play.
Hey, Dwayne, one question before we get off here, because we got a bunch of callers in. One question for you, okay? And I appreciate your opinion. One question. So you think Texas is going to win this game?
They got better talent.
No, listen. You think Texas is going to win the game because OU's defense isn't very good?
That's what he said.
I said OU defense has not been proven against legitimate offense.
But Texas isn't legitimate offense.
They got better athletes than any team that OU has played.
Yeah, Michigan and Auburn have athletes.
Same thing with Florida. Florida had the athletes, and they proved it against Texas defense.
I get it, but tell me how you think, from what you've watched Texas offensively, that they're going to just shred OU's defense.
They can run the football.
You got O-line?
You said
they've been running. Look at the stats. They've been running the football except against Florida.
No one's running on OU this year so far. And by the way,
they hadn't played anybody.
Michigan can run the ball.
Michigan's a better offense than Texas, ranked wise.
By far.
They're ranked.
Michigan can't throw the football.
Neither can
Texas.
No, Texas throw way more yards than Michigan. Way more yards.
Yeah, I did. Sam Houston State, they sure did. Hey, I love the opinion, though. This will be a fun week. Thanks for calling.
Hey, thank you for the call.
Let's get to the next one. We got like 6 on here, Jay.
Maybe Dwayne's right, but at the end of the week, I just want to know what he sees.
What are you basing that on? Yeah,
that's what you're basing it on. Hey,
let's get to the next one. Greg, what's up?
Greg?
Man, I don't want to hear anything about, man, we're talented. We got all the talent in the world. Our athletes, man, they're second to none. But get out of here. You know, the type of, people that give opinions like that are teams that aren't very good. They're trying to justify to themselves why they're not.
We did it last year as OU fans. We did it last year.
It's basically just copium to, we're going to win because we got the athletes, man. At this point, your record says something about you, believe it or not. So OU's undefeated. Texas has lost 2 games. I'm not saying that OU's going to blow them out. I hope they do, but I think OU's got what it takes to stick it to them this year. And we got the athletes, though. Get out of here. I mean, come on.
Texas
especially if Mateer's on the field.
Hey, Greg, Texas has had better talent than OU for the last whatever years. What's their record against OU? Not been good the last 15 years.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
it's not all talent.
I mean, how many people have we seen come through college football, the NFL, that are just so talented, but just can't win? I mean, I don't know. This isn't a huge point, and I don't mean to dog on the last guy, but I mean, at this point, let's talk real scenarios here. Let's put up real situations, not just, well, the other team's going to win because they're more talented. I mean,
Jackson Arnold was a 5-star last year too, wasn't he?
Exactly. I mean, we've all played the same amount of games so far. OU's won more games. They've looked more impressive on both sides of the ball, in my opinion here. But it is one of those games where you can throw throw the paper out the window.
Yeah.
But I always say, throw that stuff out the window when you cross the river. That's what I always say.
Yeah. So, do you think they're going to hold out, even if he's, as healthy as I think he is? Do you think they're going to hold off on playing Keontae just as a precautionary thing, or do you think they put him in?
I think if he's ready, they're.
My concern would be that they're saying it's back injuries they're tough.
But he didn't break anything, Jay. So
I know it's still the soreness of it. I don't know.
It'll be up to the soreness. Yeah.
Well, do you think if he doesn't play, that either Javonte or Carry-On, do you think that they fill the gap that is really missing with Keontae?
I thought Carry-On did a pretty good job the other day getting open. He made one catch, and we'll see from Javonte Gibson. I thought Keontae Lewis was he was
a good possession receiver,
possession type receiver. So in a big body, so they'll have to replace him with somebody with decent size.
Well, that's what I love about Carry-On. I always forget how tall that guy is, and we could use some more size.
That's right.
Yeah.
I mean, Satania, all them, he's super fast. He can catch. Same with Burks and all them. But yeah, we could use someone with some height. So
yeah, that's right. Hey, thanks, Greg. Good week coming up, man.
Thanks. See ya.
Hey, Jay, real quick, Dwayne was talking about how much OU got just shredded. Like they were just leaking defense, a sieve last year. Their running back had 118 yards, okay? In a game that OU had no offense.
They had the ball the whole game. Hey, and listen, if anybody wants to get on there and pick Texas, I understand that.
I understand that.
I understand that. But you're going to have to come up with some actual facts of why you think that instead of just saying,
here's a stat.
Wait. You can't sit here and say Texas O-line's really good.
Yeah.
Of what?
Hey, let's get to Bobby, but this is a great stat. Texas is ranked 55th in rushing. Auburn was 59. And what did Auburn do against OU? Thank you very much. Let's go to Bobby.
Another thing, Mateer did a couple of really big plays. I think the Michigan, remember the long drive that ate up the clock? That was really important. And the drive that he scored, that he ran in for the touchdown against Auburn. Now, he might not have thrown a 60-yard pass, but he took control of the game, and we methodically kind of ran it down there. And that's just as important as throwing a 65 yard bomber down, and this defense, it's not getting the respect that it deserves. This is the best OU defense statistically wise since 87. So, and in watching the game yesterday, that defense is a work of art. I love watching that front defensive line. It's fun to watch. And if anybody, they're going to see, we are going to put a lot of pressure on their quarterback coming up, and it's going to be fun to watch our defense, and they're going to be eager. And I think Venables is going to get them fired up and ready to smash Texas. And I think we're going to beat them. We're going to beat them.
I love the description of OU's defense as a work of art. I love that. That's
It is. Y'all have a good night.
Hey, appreciate it. We got several more callers on the line. It's a great night of calls. Let's keep it up.
Hot takes.
Hot take. Let's go to Dr. Vol.
What's up, Dr. Vol?
What's up, guys? No, but I think a lot of that Texas fan calling in, I think that's all of Fugazi. I think he don't believe what's coming out of the words coming out of his mouth more than anything. Because I went on some of the podcasts after they took that huge L down in the swamp, and I seen what they were saying. They in identity crisis. They wondering what in the heck have I gotten myself into. This ain't the Big 12 no more. We gotta go on the road and play these teams. I thought we was just gonna roll over Florida.
Well, and the thing is, Dr. Vol, this is a rivalry game. Anybody can win on Saturday. Like Texas could beat OU, but you can't go out there and just say that Texas is going to whip OU's defensive
But-
line with no line. What have you watched
but-
them think that?
In a rivalry game, I like the team that's playing with more confidence and got with more mental toughness. Okay, that's what it's going to come down to.
Yep.
Is who's more mentally tough and who's going to get the breaks when they come. And right now, Texas is a mentally weak team, and it's by their head coach and from their quarterback. Is you're supposed to be the leaders of the team, and Manning looks lost. He looks like he doesn't want to be there. He's tired of running for his life. And if y'all get after him, like y'all did, if y'all come with the same defensive attitude that y'all did against Auburn, Jackson Arnold, y'all are going to blow them out.
That's the hope, because here's the thing. Here's the thing,
Hey,
Dr. Vol.
Thanks, Dr. Vol. I appreciate
thanks for the
you.
call. And hey, here's the thing, Jay. What Dr. Vol said about confidence in this game, it really doesn't matter what happened last week against Florida and what OU did against Michigan and Auburn, because right now in the Texas locker room and all week, they're going to say, we got a chance right now to just turn this season around. So if you give them a glimmer of hope, that can back. But if OU gets after them early, those thoughts start creeping their head again, saying, we can't protect Manning. We can't protect him.
I agree. And I also agree with Chuck, though. Texas is going to come hard. They're going to play OU hard. They
Absolutely.
They haven't played very well, but they will. They'll rise up and play hard this game. I guarantee you they will. Let's get to Daniel.
Oh Lord, I hate to do this, but I have to do some educating on the first dude that talked. So he said that OU hasn't faced any talent like that, and when they faced Florida, they got exposed. If it's to my knowledge, OU, I mean not OU, UT has out recruited Florida since Sarkisian's been there. So that makes his argument null and void.
Correct.
Secondly, explosive plays or bombs in football are considered pass plays of 15 yards or more. I don't know what games he's been watching. Yeah, there hasn't been any, long bombs of touchdowns or things like that, but I don't know what games he's been watching. But, yeah, so that's besides the point. But I can't remember who just said it. I don't know if Jay or Jeremy or one of y'all just said it. But yeah, when it's the UT week, when it's UT game, who has the most athletes, who has this, who has that, doesn't matter. There's been plenty of times where these last years, OU may have recruited better or had the better team or anything like that. Historically, UT has always recruited better than OU, and it has had more talent. That doesn't matter. If talent really mattered, then OU since 2000, we wouldn't have won, 17 out of the last 20-something games in the Red River Rivalry. So, I know he's just calling and trying to get aroused with the OU people, but it irks me sometimes. I know that's just speaking me. That's my bias speaking. But if you're going to speak stuff like that, actually make it factual and don't just come and say things that aren't factually correct. First off, Texas has a good defense. Did they get exposed against Florida?
I agree.
Yeah, they may have, but that does not mean that OU is going to expose them. Like y'all just said, the Florida game has no precedent on the Red River Rivalry game at all. Not even a little bit. We would go into this game. We'd have we'd come in Monday. We have our team meeting. Usually Coach Stoops comes in and he writes the last game stats. So then we prepare, get a game week ready. Then one of the assistant coaches comes and it's their week to kind of give the game plan. We rarely did that. Usually it just was they throw the paper down. Y'all know what week it is. Let's get to work. Yep. Period. Yep. So yeah, all that, they have more talent exposed and stuff like that. And stuff like that just, I don't know, it just irks me. But I do think that defensively, I would give OU the edge on that one, but I don't understand his logic behind they're going to cause turnover. What did he say exactly about
I think
the turnovers
he was
and then
on OU turning the ball and giving Texas a short field a lot.
And then the offense. What offense has he seen from UT? I'm confused. Are we looking at the 2019 LSU? I'm very confused on that.
Sam Houston game is all I can think of.
Oh, okay, yeah, they did look like the 2019 LSU in the Sam Houston game. That is correct. But yeah. So, but just kind of what I wanted to say, going into this, y'all have heard me say this since last week. Everything that we've seen up until now doesn't matter. It literally. This is the first game of the year in terms of just this rivalry game. Stats, best defense, best quarterback, all that stuff doesn't matter. One quarterback could look terrible and they can come in this game looking like the next coming of Baker. So OU, like I said in those early messages before, they're pissed off because last year.
Yeah.
Like it's red zone in their locker room.
Yeah.
That's what you want. That's what you want for sure.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that's my spiel on that.
Hey,
Hey,
thanks,
appreciate it,
Daniel.
Daniel.
Appreciate it. Hey, and by the way, Germ, I actually have this. I think this game's gonna be a tight game.
Oh, Jay,
I think it's gonna be close.
Texas' defense is really good. No one's sitting here questioning it. My whole thing is, how can you question OU's defense right now? By the way, Michigan can run the ball. Anyone who think they can't doesn't know football. Michigan can absolutely run the ball, and OU, outside of one play by Justice Haynes in the beginning of the second half, they couldn't run the ball one iota. I have been shocked, Jay. Arch Manning hasn't tried to run the ball. Are they going to come out and try to run Arch?
He's ran some, but
Not much.
hey,
Let's get to corrections.
Corrections, and then Jackson. Then we're gonna just stop on the phones for a minute. But let's get to corrections. What's up?
Hey guys, how you doing tonight?
Good.
Well, man, you.
It's just like, yeah, I agree with Daniel that a lot, with these Red River shootout games, you kind of got to throw the records out the window, and it's kind of whoever just wants it more, But at the same time, I mean, you have a caller calling in that's just, it's nothing based on reality. Like he says that Texas is going to run it down our throats. You mean just how they ran it for 26 times for 52 yards against a Florida defense that is nearly not as good as ours, and a Florida team that exposed, bullied Texas on both sides of the ball, whose Florida is one of the worst teams in the SEC, whose only other win is a team called Long Island, which I didn't even know they had a football team.
Yeah.
So it's just ridiculous. I mean, if you have some valid points, just back it up with stats. But just coming up with these crazy, claims without any data to actually support that is just absolutely ridiculous. But the other thing I really wanted to say, and I really do think OU is going to win comfortably, especially if Mateer plays. Texas's offense is terrible. I think their defense is suspect. I mean, they just gave up 457 yards again to Florida, who hasn't been able to move the ball on anybody all year long except Long Island. They did do that.
But they are very talented offensively, Florida.
I mean, they got a couple of good players, but their offensive line, you think we have offensive line problems? Texas is even worse. And
I'm saying Florida's offense.
They've got some
talented. I think they're talented. And they might get it going like they did last year. They're pretty good offense.
Yeah, I'm not totally sold on that, but
I agree. Corrections.
I don't. I think they kind of got lightning in a bottle for a few games last year for a little bit of a run, and I just think that was just But anyways, the one thing that I just can't stand about this week that I hate is these injury reports just need to stop, because they're going to come out, it's going to say questionable or whatever, and everybody's going to lose their mind. It's the most anticipated injury report in the history of college football nationally. Like, everybody's waiting for it, and everybody's going to lose their minds. And, oh my gosh, John Mateer's not going to play, this and that. And it's just like, when are we going to learn, especially with OU's injury reports, that they're absolutely worthless?
They are. They're worthless.
They're completely worthless. I mean, how many times have we seen probable and they don't play a snap that weekend, or did we see questionable or whatever and they play the entire game, and it's just all a bunch of nonsense? I don't know. It's going to be so ridiculous hearing all the hot takes, over these injury reports that we know that they're all worthless. And I'm not looking forward to that this week.
Yeah. And there's a lot of people, and thanks for the call, corrections. Appreciate it. There's a lot of people that, Jerm, I know you have, but the Mateer stuff, I don't know at this point what anybody could base it on right now. It's a feeling. You think he's going to play, and nobody knows.
You can base it off Rourke from Indiana last year, missed one game, or the Jared Goff stuff. It's going to be, can he grip it and throw the ball? And you're not going to know until Saturday. It'll be like the Dylan Gabriel thing 2 years ago or was it? It was Dylan Gabriel's first year. Out of nowhere, they take his helmet from him right before the game. He didn't play. Do you remember that?
Well, he was warming up. Yeah, that we all knew he wasn't going to play that game.
I don't think so. Hey, and I don't think they oversold his injury, Jetty. It's a thumb injury, and it depends on gripping. And I agree with Crystal. Florida's a sleeping giant with good quarterback playing. And one thing death, taxes, and Napier saving his job in October. It happens every year. Let's get to Jackson.
One more caller. What's up, Jackson? What you got?
What's up, guys? Guys, I'm fired up tonight. I heard some horrible things from some people that were said tonight on the phone lines.
From some people?
I'm just going to say, first of all, for
Bring
somebody
it in.
to say that they have watched Texas's offense and consider their offense good, doesn't know football.
Well, I think what he was saying was they're talented, but that was his argument.
And it's going to get to my
They
next
are.
point. If you automatically think somebody is going to win a football game because they have better athletes, how many times has Texas had the better athletes in Oklahoma? And
Or
Texas does not beat Oklahoma?
yeah, it happens every year in this game. But what you got to bank it on if you're a Texas fan is you've got to get turnovers. That's their look. If Hawkins plays and turns the ball over and gives them short field, there are things that happen in this game or big. How many times have we seen? I remember Shibley with big kick returns and flipping the game. I mean, this game just has a lot of those plays.
Yeah. And for anyone to say that Oklahoma's defense is not elite,
yeah, that's a bad
question
take.
their defense. I'm sorry, but have you watched good defense at all in football?
Yeah,
Because
they've got it on the
Oklahoma
defense.
has a defensive line that's not only probably the best in college football this year, but it's probably one of the best over the last 4 or 5 years in college football. With how much they have absolutely terrorized the game. And it's just Arch Manning can read a defense about the same level that Jackson Arnold can, from what I've seen from Arch Manning up to this point.
It's very similar. They're very similar.
That's not a high standard. And I think OU's defense is probably going to have a field day with Arch Manning. It's just
that's what I'm
the
banking on.
reality
They're
of
going
it.
to put him in the ground several times.
Yeah, and Oklahoma, if they don't turn the ball over, if they're able to sustain drives, take advantage of the short fields that I think they will get several times, because Texas will turn the ball over or they'll have the ball deep towards their own end zone and they might get a safety or something or anything that's to happen. But I'm just saying, for someone to say that Oklahoma's defense is not elite and to say that Texas's offense up to this point this year has been good or they're going to win a football game automatically because they have the better athletes, I'm sorry, but that's just not something that you can say and actually be serious about, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It's crazy talk, but boys, we're almost there. 5 days till the game, and
Long week ahead.
And
That's right.
we're all hoping that John Mateer can play, but Boomer.
All right, see you,
man.
Gifted 5 memberships.
Thanks, Crystal.
Appreciate that, Crystal. If you got one,
yeah.
Make sure you email us at soonersurgepod@gmail.com. But thanks again, Crystal. Hey, I want to get to this comment. I would agree with Steve here.
The problem with that, Jay, is it doesn't create many mismatches in the secondary.
I agree, but it could help with sacks and turnovers.
For sure.
I mean, so.
Hey, and I'm going to get fired up on the last 3 minutes of this thing, probably, or 5 minutes, but I think it was Joe C. It looks like he got a membership, but if you want to say our secondary is an elite, okay, I can buy that. But to act like our secondary is bad is a bad take, considering, like, I have not seen a lot of guys running wide open. I've seen some guys make some plays, specifically Cam Coleman, but it's not like guys are just running all over the place wide open on OU's defense.
Hey, real quick, I got to get this comment. Mess. Jay gave Texas the #1 ranking preseason because of talent. I posted their depth chart without talent and O-line. Nobody cared to listen. Hey, I think me and KB Longhorn got in an argument because I said their O-line's going to have issues this year. Yeah,
hey, but Jay,
hold up. I'm not the only one that had Texas ranked high before the season. Come on, Mess.
Hey, wait, Jay. On Mez's comment, though, it said nobody cared to listen. When you said he said he posted their depth chart without talent at O-line. They have like 2 5-stars, don't they? They're talented. They're just not very good right now.
Well, I
don't they have talent on the O-line?
I could go find the clip. I said their O-line was going to have issues just like OU last year. And I don't know if it was KB at Texas. I think it was KB was kind of back.
They've had some injuries, though. Mez was right on a lot of that, Jay. I mean,
hey, I'm not saying Mess hasn't been right, Jern. I'm not saying that at all. But I didn't just give them the #1 ranking because of talent. I mean, yeah, that's part of it. But I thought they were pretty good. I thought
if OU doesn't dominate the line of scrimmage, Jay, I'll be disappointed. They should dominate them up front. David Young, Grayson Hall, Dom Williams, Jaden Jackson, R. Mason Thomas, Taylor Wine, Marvin Jones, who's, by the way, people aren't talking about it. Marvin Jones has been special this year.
Yeah, he's been really good. Hey, before I get to trivia, I got to say, though, what stands out to me offensively defensively on the defensive front is in the running game. What's different this year, Jerem, I'm serious with this. I can maybe count on maybe one hand outside the first Illinois State game or whatever, how many times a running back has actually had a little bit of daylight to get a couple yards. Like, it's so jam-packed there's nowhere to go. I mean, it's just like churning to get a couple yards on that defensive front. And I'm talking about Michigan too, outside the one long run they busted out of gaps. But their D-line has been dominant, and it's made that defense head and shoulders above where people thought it might be, because the D-line has just been so dominant. Hey, let me get
hasn't Marvin only had one face mask, I believe? And by the way, he'd be lined up with that true freshman, with the freshman that Steve Sexton just mentioned. That would be Marvin Jones Jr., because he usually lines up on the left side.
Hey, let me get to trivia. You see the logo there, Sugar 66. What is Sugar 66? Well, Sugar 66 is a dessert shop. Sweets, pineapple whips, frozen treats, freeze-dried candy, all of it. 2 locations, one in Tulsa at the Mother Road Market, one in Catoosa by the Big Blue Well. Check them out, Sugar 66. Okay. Here's the trivia question. OU's allowed 36 points, Jerm, through 5 games. The last time, that's the least amount of points allowed through 5 games since 1987. The trivia question is, through 5 games in 87, how many points did they allow?
Jay, has Marvin been better than you thought?
He's been consistent. He's been very consistent, and I like that.
He's really good against the run.
Yeah.
This is Kendall Daniels' first Red River rivalry, so we'll see what he does.
I don't think I've seen the answer yet. A lot of close ones. I think Ron's the first one to get it, 26
points. Ron Wood.
And let me read it to you here.
Ron Wood.
At Tulsa, 1987, they had North Texas 14 points, North Carolina 0, Tulsa 0, Iowa State 3, Texas that year 44-9, Oklahoma, and then Kansas State 10.
Yeah, Okoye looked like a problem, and he will be. Tim's right. Pressure arch early and often, game will be over.
Hey, and I know this is Sunday night, and it's a long way to the game, but I do think this game's going to be close. I know there's a lot of OU fans that think they're just going to roll out. I don't think so. I think
it's going to be close to it. Jay, it's a Red River game, but it'd be nice for a blowout, wouldn't it?
Oh my gosh, would it be nice, Jerm? You
talk about a no-worry game that OU just throttles.
Oh, that would be great, man.
OU's got to go turn around and go right to South Carolina too.
Yeah, both of them are on they get Texas State Fair and then South Carolina Fair, by the way.
Yeah.
Hey,
it's been fun.
Anything else tonight?
No, it's been fun.
No song tonight?
You want me to sing tonight?
Well, I saw somebody ask, so I'm just asking if you
Wait, who asked?
Earlier up. See, there's another one. I mean, people have been asking. Now, you don't have to. If you don't feel like it's a good one, Jerm, don't do it.
Well, the question was, it looks like they're wanting me to sing the song from last night.
Oh, they don't want the one that you made about all my exes live in Texas?
That's a hard one to sing, Jay.
Hey, Jerm, you do you.
Hey, Surge or Purge. It's the most wonderful week.
Give them a sample of it. Then that's a good idea. No, give them a sample.
I'm going to take a poll. Do you want to hear it's the most wonderful week of the year from last night? Or do you want me to do all my exes live in Texas, Jay? Because that one's a little bit difficult.
Are we basing off what the
Trumpet's going to come out this week. Lori says last night.
Jackson says all my exes.
Yeah, song from last night. Let's get it last night. Let's get it last night. Here we go to close it out again. It's the most wonderful week of the year. With the fans always yelling and everyone telling you your team is trash. It's the most wonderful week of the year. It'll be the happiest game of them all. With those State Fair fried food snacks and lots of big art sacks. When the power line stands tall, it'll be the happiest game of them all. There'll be rushes for losses, no arts TD tosses, and turnovers one after one. You'll see Kanik wide open, Mateer the greatest showman. Dr. Shin really is one of one. It'll be the most wonderful game of the year. There'll be much Sooner scoring and Longhorn fans boo-hooing when the Sooners are near. It'll be the most wonderful game of the year. Drop him. I added that line for someone who requested it, Jay. I had a little slip up.
I had a little slip up in the middle. Luckily, my
Yeah.
camera was off because I was laughing, but a little bit of a slip up there, Jeremy.
Yeah, and it kind of, I don't know how that came across, but hey, we'll see you tomorrow, guys.
Yeah, have a good one.